Good afternoon, friends. Brian here from Guitars and Cigars. Today we're doing a quick DIY video. So I recently purchased a Lifeson Epiphone Axcess Les Paul Custom. I've talked about it on the channel a few times. And I got myself some new strap locks. We've got gold hardware on this guitar, so as such, I picked up some gold strap locks. Got them from Amazon. They come, they're 5-star with about, I don't know, 400 reviews, I think. So this is how they come. Extra long screws. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the stock strap retainers. So we're going to take very carefully, obviously. And as you can see, I've got the guitar laid down on a towel, and I have something under to relieve the stress on the head of the guitar. You don't want any pressure on the guitar head at all while you're doing this. The other thing you do not want to do, you do not want to be pressing down on the guitar while you're doing this at all. That will definitely, if not truly damage the neck, it could certainly send it out of tune, and then you're going to have to get out and readjust everything with the truss rod key. So avoid all of that. We set this up. In the future, I will have a block. I could not find mine this morning. I just moved upstairs into my new office in the house, and it's packed away somewhere. So I'll find that and I'll have that out. But this, in a pinch, obviously does the job. So we're going to take a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm going to carefully put it in. Support, but do not push down. And just carefully unscrew the original that came on the guitar. Again, being very careful not to put any, certainly downward pressure on the neck. Out it comes. And that's what it looks like when it's off. You've got a felt washer, one screw, and your strap nub. Again, this is still nice, obviously. It's a brand new guitar, so should be no issues. So now we'll do the same thing for the back. Again, not putting pressure down, so to speak. All you're doing is supporting to make sure the guitar does not slide away. Same thing. Couple of turns with your trusty screwdriver. Again, being very careful not to let the tip of the screwdriver touch the guitar. Again, same thing. Felt washer. So this is one screw and your nub. So this is what you're going to put into the guitar itself. All right, so what we're going to do is, there's your new nub that goes onto the guitar. It comes with some felt type washers, but I'm going to reuse the ones that came from Epiphone. So I'm just going to weave that onto there. And we are carefully going to put this back into the guitar. Now these are long enough where I don't have to really worry about not getting enough meat back into the guitar. Again, we're going to be very careful. Don't want to scratch your nice new axe. Give it some turns. Again, being very careful. No downward pressure on the neck. Make sure you maintain control of your screwdriver. And I always hold this until it gets snug. Now, in theory, these screws should be a tiny bit longer than what came with the guitar originally. Nice and snug. You can see that your felt gasket is doing its job. And yeah, perfect. Now we'll do the same exact thing on the tail end of the guitar. Again, as I said, this new set came with felt style washers, but I'm going to reuse again the felt ones that came with the guitar originally, as it is a brand new guitar and this gasket is still, or washer is still in great shape. So again, carefully reinsert it into the hole, support it, keep turning with your screwdriver. You want to maintain control of your screwdriver at all times, obviously, because you don't want it sliding off and scratching your nice shiny new guitar. Equally, as you can see, I'm putting no pressure on the guitar. All I'm doing is just holding this to keep it steady until it gets snug. And then what I'm going to do here is, you can see on the other video, is I'm going to wrap my hand around the neck of the guitar at the top of the body, just for support so it doesn't move up and down. I'm putting no pressure, again, on the neck because that is extremely important. Les Pauls in particular, because of the angle of the headstock and the way that the necks is set up, are very susceptible to pressure and throwing them out of tune, where you're going to have to readjust with a truss rod. So you want to avoid that. So again, we're just going to screw this in until it is nice and snug. And that's it. We're done. Bob's your uncle. So we got one here. We've got one here. So that's basically it for the guitar. Now we're going to talk about putting the strap locks together for your strap. We've now got the nubs on the guitar itself. You've seen that process. So now we're going to take the lock part and put it onto the strap. So I always suggest that you get quality straps, certainly for any guitar that is, for lack of a better term, good. You know, it doesn't make any sense to go out and spend, you know, $1,500, $1,000, $800, $500 on a guitar that is going to end out on the ground because you cheaped out on a crappy strap. Just doesn't make any sense. So I always buy decent straps. This one in particular is, I'm not sure who makes this one, to be honest with you. Let's see what this says here. Let's stand by. All right, so this strap, sorry about that, is made by a company called Planet Waves, which I have actually used quite a bit in the past, actually. My eyes, my level of decrepitude, I couldn't read exactly what it said. It's only embossed, so maybe I should have been like Stevie Wonder. Mon chéri. Sorry. Anyways, so take the end of your strap, okay? Take the end of the lock that attaches to the guitar. So as you can see, this has got a wider opening here. Let's see. There we go. And it's got like a post on that side. So make sure you figure out how you're going to have your strap when it's over your neck on your guitar. I always have the adjustment part towards the tail of the guitar. That's just me. Some people do it the opposite. I think it's just a preference thing. Ford, Chevy, Ferrari, you know, whatever you choose. So you take the pin part, put it through the hole. Now, some strap locks, you're going to have to either elongate the hole or you're going to have to make it a little bit bigger. I actually have a punch set downstairs that I picked up at a yard sale for like $5 30 years ago that is actually made for leather work. I was lucky enough to be at a yard sale and the guy had it and he had a whole bunch of stuff. I actually bought a couple of wooden mallets and a few other things from him. Yard sales, if you're not into them, do yourself a favor, get into them. You can find amazing stuff there. Anyways, so you're gonna push it through so it's exposed, obviously. Then with this specific one, there again, my fingers, you've got a giant washer that also has like a grommet on top. That goes down over the pin and push it down. So I can't really see with that one. That's what you're going to look like. Take your screw with the knurled top and, in theory, screw it in. Of course, it's not going to be cooperative because I have old, feeble fingers. So we're going to push this down on my mat, and we are going to screw this in. Most strap locks work in this fashion. There are some that do not. There are some that you have to get out a set of wrenches and wrench it in. It's basically the same size as the small nut that is on your chord jack on your guitar. It's basically like that, so you're going to manipulate that way. I've never used this specific brand of strap locks before. I will note the information about these specifically in the description. So we're both going to learn how they work overall. Like I said, they came pretty highly rated on Amazon. So I figured I'd give them a try. So that's that. Now we're going to put it onto the guitar and see how all of that works. All right, so we've got our guitar end of the strap locks in. Like I said, we put those in. I use the original felt washers that came with the guitar. This is a brand new guitar. It's about a month old, at least with me. So as such, they're still in good shape. So I decided to reuse those. They fit perfectly. So here's our strap lock. We went over how all of that goes together. This one presses for the lock itself. So we're going to put it onto the guitar. Press, locks in. Seems pretty sturdy to me. So you didn't see this, so I wasn't going to bore you with it, but I did the same thing, obviously, for the tail end of where my strap is going to connect to the guitar. So, same thing. Going to take that. Now, also, not all strap locks swivel easily. This one does. So I'm very happy about that. Pretty secure. You're always going to hear that little bit of clicking, but that's part of being able to be maneuvering onto your guitar. So, same thing. Onto the back. We're in. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. So, that's pretty much it. That's putting on strap locks onto really any guitar. Doesn't make a difference if it's a Strat or if it's even an acoustic, a nylon string, Godin, or maybe an Axcess Les Paul, whatever you've got. Keeping the guitar secure while you're standing, moving around, doing what you're doing, pretending you're Pete Townsend, or you want to do a flip around like, I can't remember his name, the guy in Cinderella. Making sure you have a quality strap and decent quality strap locks is imperative. Because the last thing you want to be doing is, thud. Headstock breaks off. Tears will ensue. You go tell your wife that, honey, I just dropped my $1,400 guitar. I need a new one. And she goes, bah, you are SOL.
Shit out of luck.
Brian here from Guitars and Cigars. This is our first how-to video. We're going to continue to do these once a month anyways. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see how things go along. If you like this type of content, please like and follow us on our socials. Guitars and Cigars. I'm Brian, and we appreciate you checking out the site. Have a good day.